Recording.
Good afternoon. My name is Jim. This is Napoleon, Alix. We're here to discuss our senior design project, copper wire reclamation. We're going to start by giving you an overview of what we're going to talk about, obviously the scope of the project. We're going to go through the major components, which are our feasibility study and entrepreneurial aspects of our progress, and allow you to answer some questions. Our project started when we enrolled into the Ability One National Design Competition. The scope of the project was to design a product that provides employment opportunities for people with disabilities. It's recommended that the design competitors work with niche National Institute for the Severely Handicapped affiliated organizations. ADEC Industries, who we are working with on this project, is a niche affiliated organization. They are a nonprofit organization that provides various services to handicapped individuals, and one of them is a sheltered work facility where people with disabilities can have employment opportunities. The underlying goal of our project is to determine whether it's economically viable for ADEC Industries to engage in essentially stripping wire insulation from copper wiring in order to recycle copper formally. This is not something that's commonly done in practice in such a small scale that ADEC requires, and so we're not sure if the answer to this question is yes, or if they should pursue this to a limited extent. So from the industrial engineering side of this, we have an economic analysis that needs to be done. We need to design processes ahead of time in order to simulate them to see if it will be beneficial in the long term and with unforeseen circumstances that could arise. And also consider the human factors that are going to come into play, safety issues, working with wires and machinery, tools, and equipment that don't exist at this time that will be developed. The entrepreneurial side of this project is focused on developing a product that doesn't exist that will do the job in whatever capacity is needed by ADEC. Essentially, there are three alternatives for the economic analysis that we're considering. Alternative one is do nothing, do what they currently do, which is collect bulk wire that you see here on the screen and send it to a recycler. They receive a meager amount for this. Clearly not overly profitable, but it's not costing them a lot. Option number two is to sort the wires, which will involve clipping all the connectors and ties off the wires, get them down to just plastic, and sending them. This doubles their return, but also incurs cost of labor. The third option will be to actually remove the copper from the wiring, which can be sold for dramatically higher rates, and this is the thrust of the investigation. Some of the components to the feasibility study are how long each wire would be. A typical basket of wires that we're considering, how many 16-gauge wires are in there, and how long are the 16-gauge wires. You're going to see a chart at the top shows some sample data that's representative of what they currently have. Something else to consider is the price sensitivity of copper. They're going to be, as they recycle this, the copper rates are going to fluctuate over time due to different economic conditions. Here we see a chart that shows the sensitivity and the incremental benefit to their current situation to sorting or to sorting and stripping, and break-even points and different prices for copper. So we are going to compare alternatives in a straight economic analysis. We're going to be forecasting revenues based on forecast projections of copper rates. Sensitivity to different variables. We saw some here. There's going to be other sensitivities, labor rates, and the supply of wires that they get. If it changes dramatically, how will it be affected? All this will be considered in a financial simulation, and try to give them a tool that they can use to determine if it's a good time for them to recycle. What we've done so far is completed our data collection of the wires, distribution. We have a good representative sample of what they are currently harvesting from the electronics. We're able to develop link functions, type functions. These are based on probability distributions. We have sensitivity analysis set up for various variables that will be still added to, and these have been loaded into the existing models. Our next step is to involve our entrepreneurial progress, which is to actually take some time studies to determine how quickly wires can be stripped. And to do this, we're going to use our prototype pictures, which Alex is going to talk about.
The first step that we took in our entrepreneurial progress was to evaluate what was currently available in the market. Shown on the screen are some examples of things that are out there. There are hand tools, there are big machines that take care of bulk amounts of material, or there are things that don't do exactly what we're looking for, which is why we decided to move forward with developing our own product. So we began by brainstorming and breaking the problem into sets of sub-problems. We divided them up into two main categories, mechanical and user interface. We decided to start with the mechanical, and we divided that further out into the three different sub-problems: gaining access to the wire, separating the wire and the plastic, and accommodating different sizes. We began by gaining access to the wire. We considered other ideas that were similar but for unrelated products. Ideas such as the wine foil cutter or the potato peeler.